before you is an amendment to Chapter 13 to authorize existing medical marijuana facilities to convert to a comprehensive facility. This amendment will incorporate the new facility types into the existing medical marijuana business licensing process.
All right, do we have any questions of staff? All right, would anyone from the public wish to speak on B123? Would anyone from the, okay, thank you, Dan. I was like, oh, you're here.
Good evening. I'm Dan Viets, 15 North 10th Street. I worked on this issue for 50 years. I chaired the advisory board of the campaign that passed what is now Article 14, what was designated on the ballot as Amendment 3. I think it's a shame that Columbia appears to have been the only city, town, or village across our fair state that was not ready to implement Article 14 last week. I mean, it's only a few days difference, I suppose, but I think it's an embarrassment, frankly, that we didn't have this legislation ready and it was not brought before the council sooner, given that, again, Jeff City had it, St. Louis had it, as far as I know, every other municipality in our state was ready to implement Article 14 when DHSS chose to begin licensing comprehensive facilities late last week. But as for the substance of the proposal, the staff have proposed that we charge $2,000 for a business license to operate an adult use dispensary. I haven't done thorough research on this, but it appears to me that that's higher than almost any other kind of business license in the city. Now, I suppose those who are charged based on the amount of business they do might pay a higher business license fee, but this is a lot more than a liquor store, for instance, would pay for a licensing fee. Now, given the fact that the city is going to be asking the voters to approve of a 3% additional tax on adult use marijuana sales, the city is going to do very well. The city is going to have substantial additional revenue from adult use marijuana sales, assuming this passes, which I think it will. We drafted this proposal essentially inviting cities and counties to enact such additional sales taxes. I'm certainly not intending to oppose that. I don't know of anyone who's going to oppose it. But I do oppose charging people $2,000 every year for a business license to operate a shop. I just think that's a little bit greedy. That's a little bit overkill. That's a little bit more than we ought to be asking for. Adult use marijuana is very popular here in Columbia. In Boone County, Amendment 3 passed by a margin of 64%. And I would wager, although I don't have the figures in front of me, that it was probably close to 80% here in Columbia. I don't think we should do anything that opposes or places any obstacles in the way of this new business.
Thank you, Dan.
I thank you. I'm glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, Dan. Would anyone else from the public wish to speak on B123? No? All right, we'll come to council comments. Would anyone council have any questions or comments? Yeah, Betty.
I might just have a question how we came up with $2,000 for a business license. Did we look at other communities, or how did we end up with that?
We looked at what the state was doing and what the state was allowing.
What the state was allowing? So that was part of the state allows, did they set a limit for the business licenses?
The $2,000 conversion fee is what the state's charging to convert these licenses from medical marijuana to comprehensive marijuana. The ordinance we put in front of you and the changes that we propose are based largely upon what the state has done for this similar process.
Clarifying on that, is there's an annual as well?
No, and I think that has been somewhat misunderstood. This $2,000 fee is a conversion fee to convert a license. It's separate from, pardon me, it's separate from annual business license fees.
Thank you.
What would the annual business license be?
The annual business license fee for marijuana license holders include a $500 annual renewal fee in addition to the same gross receipts calculation that we use for all other business license calculations, all other businesses.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Pat?
So is the $2,000 that the city will receive on top of $2,000 that the state is also charging to convert those licenses to comprehensive licenses?
The state is charging their own separate and distinct fee for converting these licenses.
And is that $2,000?
Yes, it is.
So for the businesses, and I don't know exactly how many, but I'm assuming we have 6 because of our population. So for the 6 businesses we have, and if they do business in other parts of the state, they're going to pay an additional fee in every city where they want to convert their license to comprehensive?
If that's what they have on the books, yes.
So how much effort does it take for us to convert the license from what it currently is to a comprehensive license that we're using to justify the $2,000 fee?
Sure. As you note, it's a relatively small number of licenses. We have 6 licensed dispensaries, 2 licensed cultivators, and 3 licensed manufacturers within city limits of Columbia. Despite it being a small number, it has been the almost sole focus of my limited staff for the past 4 to 6 weeks while we've been preparing for the passage of Amendment 3.
I'm sorry, but I don't know who you are.
Oh, I'm
sorry.
sorry for not introducing myself. Todd Guest, Business Services Manager. I oversee the business license operation in the Finance Department.
And how many staff do you have that works with you?
I have 2 full-time staff that I supervise. I manage the operation, and then we've got a part-timer that's in about 20 hours a week.
Thank you.
May I add just
Yeah,
real briefly?
thank you.
So one of the things that Todd and his staff did that I think was really incredibly helpful was that they began accepting pre-applications early in order to be able to be prepared to issue licenses, the conversion licenses, if council passes this night. So they'll be able to do that tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
And
in
so they're
fact-
prepared. They're standing ready, willing, and able to do that. They got on it to do that.
And a clarification on that. So with the ruling from DHSS, that I assume came a few weeks earlier than we expected. Is that, or?
Came a few days earlier.
Okay.
We were not expecting it actually until today or tomorrow for those conversion licenses to take effect, but they moved it a bit quicker than we anticipated.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for staff from council? None? Sheila, will you please call the roll on B123?
Council Bill 123, Mr. Foster?
Yes.
Mr. Pither?
Yes.
Ms. Peters?
Yes.
Ms. Buffalo?
Yes.
Ms. Fowler?
Yes.
Ms. Weiner?
Yes.
Mr. Lovelady?
Yes.
All right, moving on.